Hey YouTube, it's Sean, Griffin RC Planes. Got a quick one for you, E-Flite Night Timber X. I've been flying this thing quite a bit. I'm not fantastic at it yet by any means. I'm really not even comfortable with it yet. But I chose to use the steel rod that goes between the two elevator halves. It comes with two. One is this graphite or carbon fiber, what have you, and another one is steel. The heavier one is for 3D, so you could have more weight in the back if you're trying to do hovering and so on. I chose to use a bigger battery than they recommend because those are the batteries that I have. And I'm using a 4S, which is a 4-cell 3300, and it's actually quite large for the battery compartment, and it takes some effort to get it in there. So when I put my battery in there, and then I was checking the CG, I needed some weight in the back to balance it. So I said, hey, I'll just put the steel elevator half joiner tube rod in the back, and that'll take care of my center of gravity issue, which it did. But now it's kind of made the back a little too heavy because every time I deploy the flaps, the front wants to jump up real high until the safe select starts to counteract it, and the down elevator mix that's suggested by the manual, it doesn't say use this down elevator mix with this rod and then use this down elevator mix with that rod. It's impossible for them to determine the down elevator mix for each individual person because they just don't know the battery or the prop, or they might have an accident and have to add some glue somewhere, so it could change the center of gravity quite easily. So I'm going to put the lightweight joiner in the back and try that the next time I fly it. That way I can kind of get a feel for both. So let's just swap the rod out, and it's only going to take a second. It's easier than you think. And I can actually do this in the field next time if I find out that this one is just way too light. So let me show you how we're going to do this. Okie dokie. I'm going to get the handy dandy airplane stand that my friend Henry has given me. He's actually given me two now. Like so the joiner rod obviously goes back here between the two elevator halves. Now one half of the elevator has the linkage on it, and you're thinking, oh man, I don't want to fool with that. Well, I didn't want to fool with that either. But we only need to take off one side. So we have the plug right here for the lights in this half of the elevator. Unplugged. Then there's a screw from the bottom. The screw is out. Elevator half. Joiner rod. Take this rod out. Be careful not to bump your elevator half now, because nothing is really holding it on there all that much. Definitely some big difference in weight. Big difference. Then we're going to slide the new one in gently so it gets lined up. I was kind of twisting it and easing it in. Make sure the two halves line up. They go into a little locking tab, or they fit inside of one another. I'm going to run the screw. And then we'll plug the light back in, maybe. Done deal. Let's put this guy on a CG machine real quick. All right, got my CG machine out. The book says 89 to 102 millimeters. So I put some marks on the bottom of the wing, 89 to 102, each black dot there. I do have a battery in it. Right now I'm setting it between the two dots. And obviously it's front heavy. Well guys, what the conclusion is that I wish there was a rod that weighed somewhere in the middle of the heavier rod and the lighter rod. It says it wants to balance between 89 and 102. I'd say it's bouncing around 75 right now. You know, give or take 5 millimeters or so. So I put the metal rod in my toolbox, and the next time we fly it, we'll try it with this. If not, we'll put what we know back in it. All right, guys. Hey, thank you. I really appreciate it. You get anything out of the stuff, give me a thumbs up, ring the notification bell, subscribe if you haven't. Tell your friends about it. Happy flying, guys. Until next time, you'll see me here